Sammy and Ginny, it's time for Tintin and Red Rockham's treasure. Yay, Tintin underwater. This is a cool one, big guys. It's one of my favorite Tintins. So, the two guys talking in a bar, and outside, Captain Haddock is reading the newspaper. And he's reading, and he goes, boom, and he walks into a pillar. Owie, 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 owie. And then, there are a whole lot of people visiting Tintin, but Captain Haddock scares them away, so they run down the stairs, and they run straight over Thompson and Thompson. Owie, owie. And then as Thompson and Thompson are putting their hats back on, Captain Haddock throws two books down the stairs and boom, on their heads. Owie. And then they try put their hats, take their hats off their heads because they're covering their eyes. Silly, silly. Anyway, then a man comes to the door, and his name is Professor Calculus. And he is telling Tintin and Captain Haddock that he has got a submarine that will help them a lot when they look for their treasure. So, they go off to Professor Calculus's lab to go see this machine that will help them. And there it is. It's a submarine. It looks like a shark, and it's got the ladder leading up to it. And Professor Calculus sits in it and crash, boom, falls to the ground. It's because it was just a prototype. It wasn't ready yet. Anyway, Tintin helps him up. And then they go to the harbour and they find the ship that they're going to sail on. So they're going to sail on this ship to go look for the hidden treasure. And as they sail off, a speedboat comes fast towards the ship, and on board are Thompson and Thompson. Anyway, they sail for a couple of days, and eventually they hear a funny noise in one of the lifeboats on the ship, and look who it is. It's Professor Calculus. He's sleeping, and he's brought his submarine with. Anyway, the next day, there in the distance, they see an island. Yo, everyone's excited. This might be where the treasure is. And it's got big mountains, and it's full of forest. So they take one of the lifeboats, and they row ashore. And as they get to the shore, a crab grabs one of the Thompson twins' feet. Owie, owie. Anyway, Tintin and Captain Haddock, they find a piece of wood sticking out, so they dig, and eventually they find it's an old boat, the remains of an old boat. Anyway, they walk through the forest, through the jungle, and there's some parrots making a funny noise. They also discover a statue. Wow. And then they see some monkeys in the trees. And speaking of monkeys, I've got a monkey sitting next to me. Hello, monkey. So they decide to take the statue back to the ship, and while they're sailing back, they see lots of sharks. And they shoot at one, and it goes bing like metal, and it's Professor Calculus in his submarine. So anyway, Tintin decides to take the submarine and go looking for hidden treasure underwater. But he gets a bit stuck in the seaweed, so they have to go look for him in the rowing boat, and there's Captain Haddock looking underwater. And eventually they see him, and they send down like a hook, it's almost like an anchor, to untie him, and they hook it on, and they pull, and splush, out comes the submarine, and Captain Haddock gets taken up by the submarine. Anyway, Tintin has another go exploring, and he finds a shipwreck, so they think this is where the treasure is. So they search and they search and they find some little bits of treasure. Like there's an old cross, and Captain Haddock gets so excited that he jumps in the water, splush, and when he comes up and sits down, all the water comes out his suit. Very funny. And then Tintin's having another look down there, and the shark, but this time it's a real shark, tries to bite him. So Tintin has to fight off the shark, and he uses a bottle, and he hits the shark on the nose with the bottle, and eventually he manages to tie the shark up so they can pull him up onto the ship. Anyway, after having found a little bit of treasure, but not the main treasure, they decide to go back to the island and have a look and try dig near the cross. So they go to the cross and they dig and they dig and they dig. Wow, they dig a huge hole, almost as big as the hole we dug on Lord Howe. Oh, that's a big hole. Anyway, they look and they look and they don't find any treasure. So they start heading back home on the ship, and they go to Captain Haddock's house, Marlinspike Hall, and Tintin suddenly realizes, he says hooray, and he knows where the treasure is. So he goes to the globe and he pops it open by clicking on a little island on the map, and inside is all the treasure. And they put the treasure in a museum so everyone can see it. Okay guys, sleep time, big guy. Daddy loves you guys lots, misses you lots, and can't wait to see you guys again. Love you lots. Love you lots, guys.